There's a mental health crisis happening right now in the United States of America.
So, Wednesday morning, I went to the guidance counselor and told her since I was second on the hit list, knowing that there was something going to happen, because there was a girl she was targeting every day at lunch. And they would go to the counselor and tell them every day that this is going to happen. And Wednesday, I went with two others, and each of us filled out a whole paper full of what's going to happen and why it's going to happen. And then I went to chorus and I was told, watch your back. He is going to come for you and this other girl at lunch. And when I was at lunch, I was terrified, and I told Miss Fattori that that was happening, and she said, don't worry about it, it's not going to happen. But, early that morning, I was told I was not going to see Mel for the rest of that week. But I was in lunch, and all of a sudden I just hear all this screaming and everybody running. And I see Mel running in after somebody, and everyone's screaming and running. But the girl who got attacked didn't see it because she was faced backwards. And all of a sudden you just hear these terrible, loud bangs of the Stanley bouncing off her head. And then you see Mel grabbing her hair and hitting her against the table and just repeatedly hitting her with the Stanley. There was blood going everywhere. I was the table right behind it. And all you see is blood everywhere. And it was just, and then you say in your email that it was 8 minutes, but we timed it, it was 28 minutes. And we had to sit in there and watch them clean up her blood off those tables and ground. And we had to watch them take her out with blood dripping down her face. And I will never forget that. And laying in bed last night, I just kept repeating it in my head, and we shouldn't have had to sit there and just watch them clean up her blood with the mop. Watch her repeatedly yelling that I'm going to murder you and just hitting her with the Stanley. And I don't get how, you couldn't have stopped it. It was 5 hours from when I told you it was going to happen and when it happened. It was 5 whole hours. I don't get how you couldn't have stopped that. And how Ms. Fattori said, don't worry, it's not going to happen. We have her under control. But clearly you didn't.
I go to Pennbrook Middle School, and I was there when the attack happened. I feel like there could have been a lot of things put in place to prevent this, and I feel like the district was lying to us, saying that it was a fight when it wasn't, it was assault, and that she was not at Penfield when I have a friend that goes to Penfield and said she came. So I don't feel like my friend would be lying. I would feel like the district would be lying when they lied to me multiple times. And I do have evidence saying, because they said, oh, it happened at 1:08, but I have me calling my mom at 1:30, 1:29, and 1:28 saying that I'm scared because I don't know what's happening. And I feel like they could have told us a lot of things to prevent this. And one of the things is there was multiple complaints about him. Multiple. My friends were telling me, and the thing is that she was scared. She moved to a different table to be safer. And this happening is not okay. And that he escaped the office when I feel like our office should have been better with that. That could have never happened if our office was right there. And it's not it's not even that. It's just the fact that the kids had to experience that, see that we are young. We are in middle school. We're not supposed to be seeing these things. And I feel like the district could have been they could have done so much things to do this. And if she is coming back to school, that is not okay. And it's not okay. And there's 1,000 kids that have not been here today. And I just don't think it's okay for that to do that. I don't know, but if she was in trying to put her trays away because she was supposed to be in the office. If she was trying to put her trays away, then they could have been with her. They could have walked with her. And I feel like they could have got better staff to do that. And I feel like they shouldn't have let that happen. And I feel like it's traumatizing to see that blood on the ground, like Emily was saying, that we saw blood on the ground and we were in the room. And when I was walking out and they wouldn't let me on my phone, I couldn't contact my mom, but I did anyways. When I was walking out, I looked around and I saw Vanessa in the wheelchair, getting wheeled out, which I don't think that was okay, and that there's so many kids sobbing, and I feel like you could do way better to prevent that.
Sorry, what was the name?
Bella.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alyssa. I live in North Wellsboro.
Can you just give your last name?
Santiago.
Thank you.
I want to start off by saying that my daughter was #1 on that hit list. Okay? I called the school on 2 separate occasions, Tuesday and Wednesday, to inform them of this child who was going to curb stomp my daughter or make my daughter bite the curb. And I was assured that my daughter was safe. And I was assured that it was handled and taken care of. I wasn't called. I was followed up with a generic email saying, the student you mentioned was talked to today. If you have any other concerns or questions, please reach out. Okay. Her friend got information that her and my daughter were going to be brutally attacked, and nothing was done. Nothing. So my next question is, where are the answers? You all are saying you're not commenting tonight? So when do we get to comments?
Do your job. Yep. Give us answers.
And you, Todd, I'm going to call you out personally, okay? Because the victim's father was told you were unaware that this child was a threat. How? How is that possible when I made a phone call to let them know that my child was being victimized? You answer me that on your time.
Hello, my name is Isabella Groden. I live in Lansdale and I am in college to become a teacher. I take educational psychology and this was the topic of today's class. We were absolutely horrified and disgusted what had taken place at the middle school yesterday. Woman prior, Sarah Vittoria, is my mother, and my brother was the person who was next to this victim that day. And he saw everything up close, and I am horrified by the only way I can even describe it is a bystander effect to where were the adults in this situation. Lunch ladies, teachers, security staff. As a previous student of North Penn, and not only North Penn, but this Pennbrook Middle School school district, I phoned my friend who went there with me, and we were floored because we know where security guards are supposed to be in that cafeteria, and I want to know why it took so long for any of them to get there. And the second one got there, the attacker took something off the security guard to continue attacking the student. Where were these guards? I want to know how this student escaped the office. Escaped the office is what I heard tonight. They escaped the office. If you weren't going to have the security guards where they were supposed to be in the lunchroom to help these students, where something like this had taken place, then why weren't they there with the student, making sure nothing like this was going to happen when you were warned previously? And I'm in school to become a teacher, so I know IEPs. I know behavioral plans, and I know sometimes parents don't care, and that's unfortunate. And I'm sorry if this attacker came from a bad home. I'm sorry if their family did not care, and I'm sorry the school did not care enough to inform professionals, CPS, whatever, that this child was a danger to themselves and to others, because there was clearly different reports over the years showing that they were a danger to themselves and others. So why was this student allowed to just continue going through the school district? You took them from Penfield to Pennbrook. What difference does that make? They were not punished, they were sent to a different school. There were no consequences to these, to my to what has gone on tonight, there seems to have no real consequences to what happened. And it doesn't seem like anyone wants to talk about how bad this really was. So I hope I'm wrong, and I hope that you all do care and that this will be resolved and this will not happen again. Thank you for your time.
Now, please listen to this report.
Fight at a middle school leaves a student seriously injured, and they want to know if it could have been prevented. I'm Jason Martinez.
I'm Sheba Russell. Those parents say they are extremely concerned. Kelly, what are you learning today?
Well, Sheba and Jason, tonight, Upper Gwynedd Police did allow me to view surveillance video of this alleged attack. They would not allow us to record it or did not provide us with any copies, but it did show the student running up to the victim from behind in a packed cafeteria and striking the victim several times on the head with a large Stanley cup. It lasted only a few seconds before a security guard and another staff member intervened. The student's head was visibly bleeding. Police say the student will be charged.
And he texted me and just said, "Mom, I'm scared." And I can't even tell you what it's like to get a text message like that when your kid is at school.
Sarah Batori got emotional talking about what should have been an ordinary Wednesday at Pennbrook Middle School for her 7th grade son. She says she's now questioning if and when he'll return after what he witnessed.
He's been a mess ever since. I just feel like there had to be multiple failures along the way here for this to happen.
Upper Gwynedd police say a 13-year-old student violently attacked a 12-year-old student in the cafeteria unprovoked around 1:15 in the afternoon with a metal Stanley mug. Police say the 12-year-old was taken to the hospital. In surveillance video viewed by Fox 29, her head was bleeding. School officials say the school was placed on hold for about 8 minutes and then proceeded on with the day.
You get that call from your kid hearing the words blood and help me, and you freeze and you panic.
The middle school principal sent a letter home to parents, first calling the incident a physical altercation. After 8 p.m. Wednesday night, the superintendent sent a longer email about the incident, saying the school's principal would be meeting with each grade today to discuss it and the support they will have available, including additional counselors. Mom Melissa Santiago says she reported the 13-year-old student earlier in the week to school counselors after her daughter was threatened.
If it was taken serious by multiple complaints, that little girl would have been in school today. And my daughter is traumatized.
It didn't have to come to this. It did not have to come to this if they took action sooner.
This mom requested that we keep her anonymous.
So it's just very uneasy. Like, why did she pick that girl? Did she just pick a random person? I want to know, is this child returning? How are you keeping our kids safe?
Now, the district declined to do any interviews today, and they also did not send any additional letters home to parents today. But they did say in that letter yesterday that they are taking all the steps they need to restore a parent's confidence. They also said that rumors that the student was expelled from another school and transferred here to Pennbrook are not true. Sheba and Jason, parents tell me they are going to tonight's school board meeting, that is, to voice their concerns.
All right, Kelly.
What a mess, man. Like I said at the beginning, there is a mental health crisis happening right now in the United States of America. And the problem is most people are acting like everything is normal. It's not, bro. That transgender kid obviously needs some type of help. If you are able to, bro, take your kids out of public school, because all they care about today is diversity and inclusion and equity and all that type of stuff. You let me know what you think about this in the comment section. God bless you and your family. Catch you on the next one. Wow.